chemistryadventure.com.
Let's talk for a minute about energy automobile propulsion systems. This information is current as of mid-2012. This is screencast 12.1. We'll be talking about the number of models for gasoline engines is clearly thousands. They've been around forever, since 1900, let's say. Cars can vary in price from $10,000 to God knows how high. Well, the advantage might be that they're everywhere and they're very mature technology. Disadvantages is they burn hydrocarbons and they are dirty. There are vehicles that can run on ethanol, or at least 85% ethanol, like E85. All of the flex fuel vehicles by Buick can do that, by GM can do that, so there's hundreds of them. They first came out in about 2004. The cost per car is, about the same as you'd pay for an average car. The advantages is that one may argue that ethanol is carbon neutral and renewable. Disadvantages, people worry about food issues since it's using up some of the food, and perhaps supply issues as well. There's one car that runs on natural gas that I know of. I'm sure there's others. That's, I believe, the Honda GX. It came out in 2007, cost $25,000. The advantage is that, I don't know why $25,000 is an advantage in terms of cost, but if you have access to propane for free or cheap, that could be an advantage. Disadvantage is that there's no propane at the pumps in general. Okay, gas-electric hybrids are really showing up quite a bit. There's at least 4 models currently available. The most well-known is the Volt, which came out in 2011. I was going to get one, but it was $40,000, and that's just too much for me. The advantage is that you have electric power without that range anxiety, since it has that gas engine built into it as well. The disadvantages are the cost. That was a deal breaker for me, and they're not selling very much. Customers just aren't comfortable with them for one reason or another. Hydrogen power, there's one vehicle that Honda makes. There's a few others perhaps. Came out in 2008. Cost $30,000. I've heard people say it cost them $1 million per car to actually develop. Wonder what the truth is there. Advantages? Well, it's an ultra-clean fuel, isn't it? Isn't it? Or is it? It depends where that hydrogen comes from. And there are no hydrogen gas stations. Well, I'm trying to go fast here to get this in. We have quite a bit to cover. Electric. Well, they've been around forever. There's one large-scale model right now known as the Leaf. Came out in 1902. They cost about $20,000 each, which is reasonable. No emissions out the tailpipe. That's a big deal. Disadvantages, what's the range? That's the big thing, isn't it? Solar-powered cars, none that I'm aware of that are commercially available. Lots of weird models that haven't hit the mainstream. So, no emissions, and there's none really available. Concept cars are really fun. There's a steady flow of them. They've been around since forever. You can't buy them. They're fun to look at, but they're often impractical. And that's a little bit about propulsion systems for various types of automobiles.